Just wanted to let you guys know that I had to remaster and repost or re-upload the video, this one here, to YouTube. This is the video talking about how I created the very first traffic exchange ever. Due to a copyright strike for legal reasons, this video has been remastered and reposted to YouTube. The names of the offended parties have been removed from this video. This action is not the choice of myself, Nelson Buck, or my company, Moredox.com. This is not an apology in any way whatsoever. My views still stand, but because I have to play in the sandbox of YouTube, have my copyright strike removed, which, by the way, wasn't a copyright strike. It was a reference to a person's name that wasn't copyright. So, look, I'm getting tired of this, Anyways, hope you like it. Watch the video. For those of you that already watched the video on how I created the very first traffic exchange ever, this is the same video, so don't watch it again. But if you want to watch it. Go ahead. Have fun. Have at it. Leave comments below. Sorry I had to re-upload it again. Have fun. Thanks a lot, guys. Hey everybody, it's Nelson Buck here. This is Nelson's Thoughts. I came across a chat yesterday of a group of people who run traffic exchanges. I won't mention the names of who they are, but in the chat yesterday, there was a discussion when I brought up the fact that I created the first traffic exchanges and Safe Mail Exchange. Actually, I'm going to bring up a name because I'm sick and tired of this person slandering my name in the public. I'm going to call her out here. Her name is, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm absolutely fed up with this person. Every time I cross her in society and the web, she's constantly saying I'm a scam or I'm a liar or stuff like that. So today, what I'm going to do? What happened was last night in the conversation, there was a little bit of a trigger moment between me and another person. And I said at one point, I'm the one that created the first traffic exchange, and there was a conversation about it. Now, I'm usually a humble person. I don't want to go out and brag and stuff like that. In the text part, said that she used to use traffic exchanges back in the 80s, and that this other guy named Chuck or Chucky made the very first traffic exchange. That's absolutely incorrect. Now, I'm going to go back here. Now, what you see on the screen right now is called the Wayback Machine. And I'm going to go back here. Let's show the Wayback Machine search engine. The Wayback Machine, I'm just going to take a little tangent here. The Wayback Machine basically is a website capturing service that captures websites throughout different days of the year, depending on how many times it's been requested to be grabbed. And it stores a snapshot of the page that it grabbed, not the functionality of the website, but the look of the website. So you can go back and say, hey, look at that logo, or look at the way they had that set up, so on and so forth. Now, safemail.com, SAFE-MAIL.com. I've since sold this domain name. I do not own it anymore. But I used to own it back here in 1997. Actually, I think it was purchased in December of 96, if I'm correct. 97 is when Jeff Olin of Knoxville, Illinois, and myself, Nelson Buck of Sherbrooke, Quebec, sat down one night and said, we're sick and tired of these people complaining about spam. We need a legitimate method in which to transmit mail from one person to another and allow other people to send mail back and forth without anybody complaining about spam. And by talking over a couple hours time, we came up with the idea of a traffic exchange. We did not call it a traffic exchange at the time. We called it a Safe Mail Exchange. In fact, this service was called Safe Mail Exchange. Now, in the night of 97, if I remember correctly, it was the 22nd of September, 1997 is when we came up with the idea. We then used this, developed the service and built it. The very first time that our service was indexed by the Wayback Machine was over here on December 5th, 1998. So there was a year there where this wasn't indexed, and at the time it wasn't a big deal getting indexed like this. But 1998 was the first time that we got indexed on December 5th, 1998. Now, listen, for everybody out there who's being told that that people have been using traffic exchanges since the 1980s, I want to put something. I'm gonna set forth the internet history here within a few seconds here, and then I'm gonna show you guys the evidence that I own I used to own safemail.com, and the fact that it was created through, indexed by a third-party organization. In this case, it's the internetarchive.org. I'm gonna explain to you here how the internet worked. Back in the 80s, nobody, not a bloody soul used traffic exchanges in the 80s, let alone the early 90s. That I can guarantee you. In the 1980s, what was considered the internet is referred to as the ARPANET, and that was only used by military, high-level corporations, and the university structures. That was late 80s. Early 90s, it was still ARPANET, becoming the internet. TCP/IP had been developed. HTTP was something coming up, the idea of the URL. In fact, go look at the history of Internic. Internic does not go back to the 80s, and that's internic.com. They're the very first domain registrar. If you want to register a domain name like yourname.com, they're the first people who did the domain registrations, Internic. And it stood for the Internet Nickname Directory. So this was a DNS, or Dynamic Name Service. This is where this all came out in the early 90s. Now, from 1990 to 1993, it cost a fortune to have internet. And I can vouch for that, because here where I was, to have regular dial-up of 288K on a Mac LC3 with a regular dial-up modem, those little boxes that made those screeching noises when you had to connect to the internet with one phone line. The phone line cost me $50 a month, and the internet connection was $110 a month, just for a regular little tiny internet connection that barely got you anything. In 94, the price was $50. In 95, the price of a single connection was $35, and still for 28.8 or 56K modems. So, at the time of 1995, Microsoft Windows came out with Windows 95, which was the very first Windows environment that was user-friendly to internet. And if you look back in history, 1995 was the big boom for internet usage, and the simplicity to simply click a button and say go on the internet and go search, so on and so forth. Now, there were search engines from 1990 to 1995, but they were for very specific groups of people, people with money, people with connectivity. I remember in 1994, I had to use something called WinSock. I had to connect with a version of Windows that was before 1995, obviously, and I had to use a software called WinSock, which stood for Windows Socket Layer, and that software allowed you to connect to the internet. And again, it was very complicated and buggy, and you had troubles, and the age of where you would swear because you couldn't get on the internet as easily as today. 1995 came around, and boom, this huge internet explosion. The millions and millions and millions of people bought Windows 95. Millions of computers were sold that year, and millions of internet accesses came down below $20 a month. 1997, as I said before, Jeffrey Dale Olin of Knoxville, Illinois, and Nelson Buck of Sherbrooke, Quebec, invented or came up with the idea of Safe Mail Exchange, which had both functions. One, that you can send mail back and forth, and that you could earn credits instead of having to buy memberships. You could earn credits by looking at an email and clicking the link in the email to gain your credits. Now, 1998 is the first time this website was indexed, and here it is. Here's the snapshot of the Internet Archive, or Wayback Machine, what they captured as Safe Mail. Now I'm just going to refresh this page, because since I captured these sites this morning, the Wayback Machine is kind of sluggish. I'm getting these 503 service unavailable errors. Let's see if I can reload it, maybe get one of the logos up. So that was the 1998 version. The next time, the next page over that I snagged was the 6th of February. No, hold on a sec. This would have been 2002. No, this is too far. Okay, it's shifting the wrong way. No, it's doing it the right way. Okay, here we go. So this would have been the second iteration of Safe Mail. The logo was set up here. I have a picture of the logo here in a second. Basically, again, click here to sign up with SafeMail Exchange. There's the word exchange. And this is the first time we said Mardox Network. Now look carefully up here. This is still for safe-mail.com. Still checking for safemail.com. Up here in the URL, it still says http://www.safe-mail.com. That's the web address that the Wayback Machine captured. And this is the first time we put Mardox Network on it. And we also had our own banner exchange at the time called Bannerscape. And here it is. Here's the emblem for it. Bannerscape was, I think, a 1998 project we started and went with it, where you could, exchange your banners. It was a 2-to-1 ratio. The next time after that, here we go, Mardox logo is at the top of the site. Suddenly it was no longer just a member of Mardox or a partner of Mardox, but a full-fledged Mardox user. Again, Bannerscape down here. We had all our banners on all our sites. And you can see here, over here at the top right hand corner, we were still calling it A to Z Solutions Network, which was the parent company to Mardox and everything else. At the time, Mardox was not my main corporation. It was A to Z Solutions. Over here, my mouse is on the right hand side. It was A to Z Solutions Network. Going forward again, new logo, got rid of A to Z Solutions. We shut that down because of issues with another partner. And Mardox.com became our primary flagship website. Page changed again. There was some logo changes again. Banners at the bottom. We got rid of the big Bannerscape emblem. But again, these sites are carrying the Mardox logo, and everybody knows I own Mardox.com. Go check it out. I've owned it for years, since I think Mardox was registered in 1999. So there you go. And safemail.com. Actually, we're going to go look up Mardox.com in just a second while we're doing this. So there's safemail.com on that listing. I want to go do a whois. I'm going to do a lookup on Mardox.com just for the, like I say a lot of times, for shits and giggles. I'm just using whois.com here. And obviously it's taken, so I'm going to do a whois lookup on Mardox.com. And Mardox.com was registered date, there you go, 19th of July 1999. So it was a couple years into the ownership of SafeMail, Bannerscape, and those guys that we bought Mardox. And A to Z Solutions, A2ZSOL.com was my first website, or very first registration, and that's the one we used. So we're back here. This was registered, this would have been registered on 2003-609. So the 9th of June 2003 is when this snapshot of the site was snagged. Going forward, we have the last iteration where we have credit cards, payment services that we accepted. We even accepted Western Union payments. It was a really great program, because it was actually really neat to walk down the street with a 1-inch thick wad of checks every day, go to the bank and say, here's a pile of US dollar checks for $5 each, and allowing our users to have paid memberships for $5. It was quite the thing. So there you go. There's the evidence. Going back, 1998 is when I first started SafeMail.com. I was the first person to create, myself and Jeff Olden. I'm going to give Jeff Olden 100% credit in this, because he was there that night and he put in as much effort into this, the ideas and color ideas and wording. He was there giving us a lot of the ideas in 97. So 1997, it was officially registered. It was started 1998 with the first time with Snapshot. Unfortunately, I can't go back closer than a year and on. I sold SafeMail, I believe, here in 2008. You can see where the traffic is dead. There's nothing going on. And then again, in 2010, someone picked it up and gone with it with a brand new service. They own the domain. It has nothing to do with me. But during this period right here is where we own SafeMail.com. So with that, those are my thoughts. Listen, I'm sick and tired of people thinking that just because someone says they came up with something, that person must be a liar. Do your research, especially you. Seriously, do your research. I hope to God you take the time to watch this video instead of being arrogant and self-centered And I'm sorry, but after last night, do your research before you accuse somebody of being a scam, a liar, a fraud, etc. Not everybody in the world is a liar or a scam. Okay, those are my thoughts. Leave your comments in the description below if you guys have any, and I'll see you in my next video. Talk to you guys soon.